Scott Golden. We have a special treat tonight. On the menu for this interview is none other than the mother-daughter duo, Leigh and Anna-Leigh Waters. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Scott Golden. And we're going to be hitting these questions fast and furious. And I'm going to get right to it with you guys. Since we're coming off of the 2021 U.S. Open Pickleball Championship, we're going to start with two good questions from that. This one is personally my favorite. And that question is, what was it like playing against each other on the doubles pro event on Sunday?
You can start.
Okay, well, it wasn't the first time we played each other, but that doesn't make it like normal. It's still the weirdest experience you can imagine. Like, if you think it's weird, you can multiply that by like 10. Because even though you want to win and you don't want to let your partner down, you also want them to do well and win. So it's just like a weird dynamic going on there.
Yeah, I personally hate it. Like, it makes me physically ill when I see that I have to play her in a draw. And I mean, she's a really good mixed player, so it's scary from that perspective, but it's also like the mother-daughter dynamic. It's like Anna-Leigh said, I want her to win and do really well, but yet, you know, I'm playing with Tyson McGuffin. I mean, he doesn't want to go out, you know, he wants to win. And so it's like, I gotta suck it up and try to beat my daughter and get pumped up like, oh yeah, we want a point, let's go, you know. And
I don't think when we played each other, one person said, come on.
yeah, and it's just, we've gone back and forth. We played each other 4 or 5 times now, and I think we like alternate who wins and loses, because it's just, it's not fun. No. It's not fun at all.
So I actually streamed that match live on Sunday, and I think that was the most nervous that I was. I was nervous for you guys, watching you battle it out on the court. After the game ended, for anybody that didn't get to see it, Mother Waters won that one, 15-12. There was a special embrace that I saw after the match ended. Can you guys elaborate on that? Can you talk on that a little bit?
There were a lot of emotions going on after that match.
Well, so like I said, we've played before, and I think we were learning from our mistakes a little bit. Like the first couple times we played, it was very competitive, and we both wanted to win, and nobody wanted to lose the other.
And we played each other in singles before too.
Yeah. Yeah, and we would have like these moments of after the match was over, like one goes here and one goes there, and it's awkward, and it's but I think we've grown past that, and we understand that, hey, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose.
It's kind of like the Serena Venus kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Like, weird.
And so I think we understand that at the end of the match, like, most importantly, we're mother-daughter. And so afterwards, I could tell that Anna-Leigh was upset, as I would have been had I lost. And I knew that if I could just grab her and get a hold of her and hug her and just say a few things in her ear, that it would help the situation. And I think it did, don't you?
I had ice cream after too.
I mean, I said at first I was like, you know, don't be upset, don't cry, it's okay. Like, I wish you could have won too. And then I was like, you want to go get an ice cream?
Yeah, that's what she.
And I was like trying to say things that were funny, and finally I got her to laugh at the end. I was like, all right, I got her to laugh. We can move on now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually saw her eating. Anna-Leigh, what ice cream flavor did you get?
So I got the waffle cone cookies and cream ice cream after I lost.
That has to make it a little bit better.
Hey, that's the perk of losing.
Yeah.
You can go eat ice cream.
That's awesome. And I don't know if y'all knew this, but I actually interviewed Anna-Leigh, your dad, and Leigh, your husband. I actually got a quick interview with him after, and he was really cool about it. He was just like, you know what, we're very nervous when we're watching. And he said, but, you know, Anna-Leigh, after she lost, he said, you know, 2-3 minutes after, she'll be fine. He said she's going to get ice cream. So it was cool to hear.
Awesome.
All right, so let's switch gears. So we just talked about how you guys played against each other. Now, tell everybody what it was like to compete together on center court. You guys played for the bronze. It was kind of a unique situation because I guess Saturday night, or was it Friday night, you actually started but didn't get to finish, and then you guys had to finish the next morning. So what, talk us through that and what that experience was like.
That was bizarre.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was our first U.S. Open playing together, and it was our first time playing together in the stadium court at the U.S. Open. So that was really cool to get to play together in that stadium. But we were winning. We won the first game in the bronze, and we were up in the second 8-3, and then it started to rain.
Pouring.
And we were like, come on, quick, let's win this, like get some points together. Because we had a lot of momentum going at that moment, and then it just started pouring, and we were like, what is going on?
Yeah, so we begged, we were like, can we just wait it out, see if, the rain will stop and the courts will dry, and they agreed, and we all sat there for, 20, 30 minutes, and it was apparent that the rain was not going to give out, and so we had to come back at 8 o'clock the next morning at 8-3 in the second game, and the whole night, neither one of us slept well.
No.
Because you worry about those momentum swings. You see it all the time in it happens in tennis all the time.
And I was getting text messages from people like, oh, it always happens to people who are up, lost. And I was like, thanks, thank you.
So we were super nervous. So we got there at 7. I think we warmed up for a solid hour on stadium court because we just wanted to be prepared and try to knock it out right away. And luckily, thank goodness, we won 11. I think it was 11-5.
It was weird, though.
But it was weird, and nobody was really in the stadium, and then they bring out the check, and so you're in there with 5 people.
And they're like, how does it feel to get the bronze?
Feels
okay,
great.
Yeah. Let's go play mixed doubles now.
It's 4 out of the 5 people were your family.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the interesting thing, because due to COVID, they couldn't really allow many people in the stadium this year. And usually stadiums are so electric and it's and you want to play on stadium. But I don't know if you agree, but actually this year I found the outdoor courts to be way more electric. The people were just stacked, and you felt like they were so close to you, and the energy, and
there were way more people on the outside courts than there were in the stadium.
At least it felt that way. And so almost for me, the energy of playing outside on one of those end courts where people could wrap around was almost
better,
more fun.
Yeah. No, I felt that same vibe, and I think that's very accurate. 100%. The people were crowding around those outdoor courts, just packing it out, and it was an electric crowd for sure.
And we didn't refuse to play, but we never really wanted to go out and play pickleball. But then Hurricane Irma came down in what year? 2017. So we evacuated Pennsylvania.
To Pennsylvania.
Yeah, to Pennsylvania from Florida. And we started to play pickleball while we were up there because we didn't really have much to do and everything, and we loved it. From the moment we were on the court, we were hooked, and we played all day, every day.
And then we came back to Florida and found our local pickleball club, which was Delray, which now holds huge tournaments. And they kind of taught us about the rules and really we didn't even know it was competitive at that point. They really introduced us to the tournament scene. And
I think my first tournament was Delray.
Yeah.
It was the first Delray tournament.
Just as a side question off of that question about how you found pickleball, do you guys remember if you were using a PaddleTech paddle back then? Because I've only seen you guys with PaddleTech, so I don't even know if the first time you.
Well, the first paddles when we went up to my dad's, we just used people's extra paddles at the park,
or wooden ones.
I think we were using wooden ones to start with. I seriously think we had wooden ones, and then we went to Dick's. And we just grabbed random paddles, and I know one was the PaddleTech Element, which is basically what I still use. One was a Selkirk Epic.
It might have been an Onyx weird.
Maybe. Or there might have been a couple other random. We just literally grabbed 4 different paddles.
And we had no idea what anything was.
And then it wasn't until the Delray, our first tournament, where Ken at PaddleTech saw Anna-Leigh playing at 10.
I think so.
And 11. Was like, let me put this paddle in your hand. And it was the PaddleTech TS5, which is still the paddle she plays with today. And
I love that paddle.
She loved it. And I think at that point, I was using the Selkirk Epic.
You switched over around U.S. Open.
But around U.S. Open, that's when I switched over to PaddleTech. And
here we are today, still with PaddleTech.
The rest is history there.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your racket sport backgrounds?
I've played tennis since I was 8, years old. One day she wasn't going to get me to start playing tennis because she played that. And I was like, Mom, I want to play tennis. And she was like, okay, like, sure. And I played that through pickleball. I did both at the same time until COVID, started. I want to get back into it and play every now and then again because I really think it helps pickleball. So yeah, I played tennis first.
Yeah, and I played tennis was my sport growing up. Played competitive tennis, and then I played Division I tennis at the University of South Carolina for 4 years, and I played singles and doubles all 4 years, and kind of quit playing tennis right after NCAA's my senior year, and what was it? Right when you were.
When I was 8, I think when I started to play.
When Anna-Leigh decided that she wanted to play, I was like, well, I guess I'll pick up the racket too. And so I kind of played for 2 or 3 more years after that. And then we found pickleball and I put the rackets back down. I was like, no more tennis.
I love that. How good or bad were you guys in your very first pickleball game?
I don't really. We were probably terrible, but I just remember us ripping like everything we got. It was like ground.
Yeah, so I think we were good and bad because we were literally playing
tennis.
total tennis.
So
So we were like good because people were like,
didn't know what we
you're
were
like,
doing.
what are you doing? But bad because probably we were missing, 50% of the shots. But I mean, our first tournament, I remember that I played.
You played pro.
Oh no, I played 5-0 women's and I played 4-5 mixed. And I played with my dad, who's now 72, I think.
Yeah.
And we won the 4-5s, but in 5-0, I got destroyed in 5-0 women's. Didn't win a match in 5-0 women's. There was like a huge difference. Like when I was playing 4-5 and the pros, it was just a totally different thing. Like they were hitting these like third shot drop rolls at my feet, and I was like, what is this? I had no clue what to do with it. I was like, trying to hit it hard. No, that didn't work. I didn't have the finesse. So that was bad.
I was playing 3-0, and during the tournament I got bumped up because a lot of people were complaining that I was not a 3-0.
In the middle of the
tournament, they bumped her up to 3-5.
And my next question was about what was your first tournament, but you kind of alluded to it was Delray, right?
It was Delray. It was the Delray Open put on by the Delray Beach Pickleball Club. And at the time, it was their first tournament, and it was pretty big. I think there were 400 some people there. And I remember first round, I played Andrea Coop and her sister.
Yeah, Mag.
No, it wasn't Maggie.
Oh,
Sarah. It was her other sister, Sarah. And I was like, okay, these girls are good. Like, because here I thought I was, decent. No, I like I said, did not win a match. But Anna-Leigh halfway through got bumped up, and her partner was Stacey Townsend.
Yeah.
They got randomly paired together.
I couldn't have asked for like a better random partner.
No.
I mean, it was.
No kidding.
And we stuck together, and we moved up level by level, and.
Yep, they played together until Anna-Leigh and I started playing.
For sure, because I remember Anna-Leigh playing with Stacey Townsend on center court, I think at 4-5 maybe, or something like that at the U.S. Open, first year. You guys had the banger and the dinker shirts on, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that. And I was thinking, like, I honestly remember thinking, like, who is this, like, young girl out there kicking people's butt? Like, who is your favorite player to play against and why?
Yeah. Mine is Brandon Hubschmidt. Just because we know each other's games so well, and we have so many inside jokes and like funny stuff happens on the court when we play against each other. I try to hit him all the time. It's just so he would be my favorite person to play against.
I don't know. I kind of like in the tournament scenes, I kind of like playing Irina, and I think it's because I think she and I like have a mutual respect for each other and each other's games, and she's so funny and like witty, and even when you're like fighting, neck and neck, after a point, she'll just have this funny comment. It just sort of like cuts the ice, and it's, I don't know. I just have fun with her, and we're always battling. I think I play her more than anyone. I mean, I'm always playing her in women's and men's.
Yeah, you're all. Always see.
Always playing each other, but like as soon as the match is over, like no matter who wins or who loses, we're back to joking around. And so, I mean, I just have fun when I play with Irina.
That's awesome. That's two really good answers there. I know they'll definitely appreciate those answers for sure. Now the next one's a little trickier. It's who is your least favorite player to play against and why?
Okay, mine's my mom.
That's an easy one. That one is too easy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, the first thing we do on mixed day is
Look at the draw.
look at the draw and are we anywhere near each other? Because at Delray a few months ago,
We got each other's second round.
it was her second round, but I had a bye, so she was basically my first round, and it was a total disaster. That one she came away as the victor, and I don't even know if I won a point. I mean, I was like frozen. It was so yeah.
I mean,
just
it's
don't
good
like
to be
playing.
on opposite sides of the draw, but at the same time, if you lose or on the same spot, you like play each other right away.
Right.
Like me and Kyle at the U.S. Open, we played Matt and Lucy, and then
That was an epic match, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost in 3, 12-10. We had 2 match points. We don't talk about that. But when we dropped down, we had to play them first match, and we were like, oh my god, like that's just so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. I'll play anybody before playing her.
No doubt. All right, guys, what is your favorite shot to hit in pickleball?
Oh, I know yours.
No, I think I know mine too.
Go ahead.
Mine is my like backhand roll. I need to come up with a name for it. But I like it's like the one from the kitchen.
You mean where you roll your opponent right off the court with no
Yes, that's the one. It comes in handy in mixed doubles.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I've tried so hard to learn that shot, and I can't figure out how she does it. I can do it like one time out of 50, but she's like every time she can just get that perfect little roll. And the thing is even when somebody like cuts it really hard to your backhand and you have to take off all that pace, you still figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
And Leigh, what about you? What's your favorite shot?
For me, I mean, I love the third shot drive. That's kind of what I've done from day one. And I still love it. But I also love the forehand speed up from the kitchen. I know you love that shot too, Scott.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just a fun shot because you can kind of pull it a lot of different directions. And, we like to be the first to strike in a point. So that's a good shot to sort of get on the offense.
Yeah, I was going to say, Leigh, I thought you were going to say that was going to be your favorite shot because you do a really good job of when you're straight on with somebody of taking that forehand and just ripping it either left hip or right hip. And it's a shot for sure because if you let it go, it still goes in. So Sometimes, not all the time.
With the Franklin ball, it stays in.
That's right.
There you go.
We could go on to a whole nother interview with that, but man, all those shots with the Franklin ball seemed to land in this past week. It was unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, I let so many balls like drives that were shoulder high that normally, fly out. I let so many go and then boom, weren't they in by that much?
Oh yeah.
It was unreal.
Looks of just like
I don't know how many times I said to Tyson, how did that stay in?
We saw it all week long. Everybody was dealing with that where it would look like it's going to go out. And then actually I won a match that way where I hit it at Brooks DeZeller and Jordan Hannis. We were playing in the bronze or the game before the bronze. And I hit it above his ear and he let it go and it dropped in by like a foot.
Well, the wind didn't help with that much either.
Yeah.
Between the two, you kind of had to play everything.
You did.
In the heat.
Yeah, that's
Boom.
for sure. That's a fact. That definitely made it interesting at the U.S. Open. All right, we're going to try to keep it to 20 to 25 minutes, so we're going to keep.
Okay.
Okay, where's your favorite place to play pickleball?
Delray.
I gotta say, Indian Wells Nationals.
Oh yeah, that's insane.
The atmosphere. Talk about atmosphere on the stadium court. That place. I can't wait to get back there.
Yeah.
And I hope it's to the point where they can pack it because that was the most electric stadium I've ever played
amazing. And the views while you were out there, it was like you were on a green screen.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
For sure. Those are two great answers. All right, next question. this is a good one. I think people are always curious about this. What is y'all's pre-game regimen look like?
So we always eat a big Italian meal before we go out and play.
Well, the night before.
The night before.
Right before.
Yeah, not right before. The night before.
Yeah. The morning before, we actually don't eat that much.
I'm not a big breakfast person anyways, so I don't really eat that much. We kind of like snack like with bagels along the way.
Yeah, yeah, but we try to get out about an hour early, and we'll kind of like warm up right when we get there, and then take a break, and then try to warm up again right before we play. So we get ourselves going, but then we don't like overdo it.
Tire ourselves
And
out.
then we're fresh. We're fresh right when we go on. We always say a little prayer before we go on.
Yes.
What else? We try to play some music that gets us pumped up.
Yeah. Before nationals,
It's
we have
usually
like
some rap song that I've never heard before, but Anna-Leigh knows every word, and I just try to. If you've seen the TikToks, you know. I don't know what they are, but she does.
That's so awesome. I love it. Mom just jumped right in with it.
She has a couple of them that she sings along to.
Now she's getting the hang of it. Yeah, I love it. All right, what is one thing that you keep in your pickleball bag that somebody would not expect?
Well, mine isn't so much one thing, it's more like a couple things. I put medals in my bag after I win them. Like, I don't even know where my US Open bronze medal is. It might be in my bag from the turn.
From this year, or from 2 years ago, because that one's probably in there too.
Probably in there too. I'll just be looking through my bag and I'll be like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's the medal from so and so 2 years ago.
And sometimes there's soccer medals in there too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we'll go from like soccer to pickleball or pickleball to soccer, like one tournament
just
to the
random
next.
medals.
Stuff just gets
random medals.
thrown in her bag.
I know, that's probably why my bag weighs so much. I'm carrying like all the medals from everywhere.
I mean, mine's kind of similar. Like, my bag's pretty traditional, like the sunscreen, the towels, extra clothes, the paddles.
The water.
But for some reason, I seem to never get rid of the first server bands.
She just have a first.
Some of them are even on her shoe.
Like, like I never take them off my shoe. And so I have like a collection of first server bands on my sneaker from like many tournaments ago. That's like what's on your shoe, not what's in your bag. But yeah, I always have a first server band if anyone needs one.
If you guys take notes, if you ever need to find one, find Leigh Waters quickly. She's got them.
Do you ever need an extra medal or an extra?
She's got one in every color.
First server band.
Oh my gosh,
Find it.
I love it, love it, love it. All right, last question, and then we're gonna wrap things up. This is an interesting question for you guys because when I watch you guys together, you have a certain style, and then when I watch you play mixed doubles, you play similar to your own styles, but you also kind of mix things up a little bit with your stylistic stuff because you have to kind of mesh with a different partner. So the question is, what do you look for in a doubles partner when you're choosing those partners?
The main thing for me is a partner who's nice and doesn't roll your eyes at you when you miss a shot.
No, yeah, I mean that for me too. I mean, in mixed doubles, there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure on the woman because you're seeing most of the balls that you need to feel totally comfortable with your partner. And so if I have a partner that's giving me the eye roll, or you can just tell that they're super tense every time you miss a point, it just puts more pressure on you than you already have.
And you feel like you're letting them down like so bad. It's just weird feeling going on.
But I think that's why we both have enjoyed playing with Kyle and Tyson, and we're going to flip-flop later in the year, and I play with Kyle and she plays with Tyson because they're both so easygoing, and I guess we know them personally, and they allow us to feel comfortable so that we can play our game.
And not just have to think cross court a million times.
I also appreciate somebody, and Dave Weinbach was really good about this when I played with him in the split age, somebody that like talks strategy with you, like during the match or even before a point, like here's what we want to do this point.
Right.
Because it takes that pressure off of making that decision midpoint. You kind of have a game plan already. And I appreciate somebody who can do that in a positive way, not like,
one main thing for me too is somebody who can keep me pumped up and like
The energy.
going, because if I have a partner who's kind of just like, oh, whatever, I play like, oh, whatever,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't end up well for me.
Right.
So that's another reason I like playing with Kyle and Tyson, because they're always like keeping me pumped up throughout the match.
Yeah, and I like I said, I live streamed a lot of the matches at the U.S. Open, and I can personally vouch for those two guys on the court with you guys. They stayed ultra positive. They were always encouraging. The body language was always good. You guys are always great on the court, but it is important for that doubles partner, that mixed doubles partner, to stay positive with you. And I saw that firsthand. So you guys are really lucky to have that and fortunate, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, one last off the cuff question, because this is in the kitchen with Scott Golden. So my last question is, who at the house enjoys being in the kitchen more, Anna-Leigh or Leigh cooking?
Me.
And then
Ding, ding, ding.
do you have a favorite thing that you like to cook? I know you like to do the sweets and stuff, right? Like this.
I love Italian food, so we try to make that a lot.
Yeah, we do a lot of like different kinds of meatballs, and Anna-Leigh likes to do stuff from scratch. So it's like you got to make the meat. You can't just like buy the pre-made meatballs and throw them in the pot. You got to make it from scratch. So like
We've
the
made
meat's
pasta
up to
from
your
scratch,
elbows.
yeah.
You're like in there with the mixing bowl.
I'm really good at making pancakes too. Like my
Oh, yeah.
pancakes are really big and
she
thick.
makes breakfast. We do breakfast for dinner like usually once a week, and Anna-Leigh makes like huge
like
pancakes
diner style pancakes
and bacon and eggs, and she's really, she made Thanksgiving dinner, the entire dinner last Thanksgiving, and it was this whole spread. She's a good cook. She's gonna make some man very happy.
I love it. Yeah, I knew she liked to do like the cakes and stuff, but I didn't realize she was making breakfast and dinner and stuff.
Oh, she's making the whole thing.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right, last wrap-up question. This is it. What are you guys binge watching right now after the U.S. Open to kind of wind down?
Oh, well, it was a little bit before the U.S. Open and during the U.S. Open. We're watching Pretty Little Liars right now, so no spoilers.
Yeah, so it's 7 seasons, and there's like 25 episodes per season.
And they're like an hour long each episode.
So you can truly binge watch this show, and it's constantly like flipping and turning and keeping you guessing. And so during like all the rain delays at the U.S. Open, we would go in the car and we would just like stream Pretty Little Liars for
we
hours.
have a nick. It's like we call it PPL. Like that's how into it we are. Oh wait, PLL.
PPL.
PLL.
I thought that was a new pro tour that was started, the PPL.
PPL. Oh, Lord.
That's incredible. So there you go, guys. The Waters are watching PLL.
There you go.
down to-
HBO Max.
Awesome, guys. Good stuff. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I know that you guys want to get back to watching your shows and kind of relaxing. Thank you again for everything. I think this was a great interview for people to get to know you guys a little bit, but we're not going to be out here for 2 hours. We're going to let you guys get back to it. So
thanks, Scott, and
Thank
thanks
you.
to the kitchen for having us.
Kitchen.
yeah.
This is fun.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great night. Hope you guys enjoyed this interview.